And finally, for the night, since we're going through the sports realm, boxing happened this past Saturday. Not a whole lot to talk about, but just the pure dominance of what Devin Haney was able to do with Regis Prograis in his first move up to 140 pounds. I mean, remember, he's been at 135 pounds since he was 16 years old because he turned pro down in Mexico where they allow you to go pro at 15 and 16 years old. He couldn't do that in the U.S. So he stays at that weight all these years, finally just kills himself making weight for the past 4 or 5 years. Now he goes up just a little bit, but he still could probably make 147. I wouldn't put him in with boots just yet, but at 140, looks even stronger, looks freaking sharp. 120 across the board, including a knockdown in the third round against Regis Prograis, a power puncher who thought he had something extra to offer. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we talked about it on Thursday, right? That Haney was too fundamentally sound. His technique was too good for Prograis, and Prograis had to make it an ugly fight. Get inside, make it rugged, rough him up. And from what I saw, he either couldn't or wouldn't even try to do that. That was the only way he was going to win. There's no way he's going to outbox Haney. He don't have the skills, and Haney showed that Saturday night. Prograis was outmatched.
And I think Paulie Malignaggi, if you watched his YouTube channel, he talked about how Devin Haney's the master of distance. And he knows how to use the distance. He knows where he's at. When I used to train the boxers at the UNF Boxing Club, I used to talk about the geometry of the ring. And we used to really get down. I used to always say, you guys are college guys, man. You should know about the geometry of the ring. And I used to always, use that as an analogy in different parts of the ring and where distances and how all that stuff goes. Straight line, obvious things, straight line, the shortest distance. And it seems like Devin Haney has that in spades. He's one of these boxing geniuses. And right now, we look at him, we look at Shakur Stevenson, and now you think about Tank. Tank versus Devin Haney now. How does that fight look after you saw against Prograis? Now, Prograis isn't Tank, but he has that power to be deadly, and it never landed.
I don't think Haney fights him. I don't think so.
Because he doesn't want to fight him, or because Tank won't move up?
Because I don't think Bill Haney will let him. I don't think so.
I don't see anything because he took care of this southpaw.
I think it would be like a winner take all fight, and if he lost that one, I don't think they're about that. I don't think Bill Haney's about that.
Oh, no. They're all about the money, man. All of them. And they should be because it's prize fighting. Get the prize, but that prize would be going to one person if you really believed in yourself. But if you put those two together after what you saw last Saturday, or if you just watch the highlights, what would you?
I'd give the edge. I'd give the edge. I'd make Haney a good favorite, maybe 3-1, because as you mentioned, he's a master of distance. Mm-hmm. And with Tank being the shorter fighter, usually he's counterpunching. He's not going to have Haney coming forward too often, coming at him. So Haney's not going to give him those openings to land the crazy uppercut or the hook. But Tank does have a lot of power, so if he lands, we've seen Haney hurt before.
Yeah.
So I feel Haney could box his way to decision, but you can't count out Tank either.
Yeah, at the same time, I look at Tank and what he does from the waist down, being shorter as he's been in most of his fights. He does have that footwork, and he can close distances with those short legs. He can be unpredictable, and he's also a southpaw who's skilled. He doesn't get a lot of credit for his overall skills because they fell in love with his power. He has good speed, if not great speed. I remember when he and Tevin Farmer were going back and forth like they were going to fight, and you saw how he was working with his fast hands. He has those fast hands. Those fast hands bring even more power. If he can really close that distance because he just herky-jerky from the waist down and can do that against Devin Haney, well, we've seen Loma do that, close that distance and make things ugly, and that's what gave him the problems that he had against Loma. I think Tank can do a lot of the same, and if he lands, we know things can get difficult, but Tank would be the one moving up, and Devin Haney now more of a natural weight for his age right now, may be able to take that power too, and he has more power based on what I saw last Saturday. That right hand landing the way it did, man, a hell of a counter. Dropped him with some good power behind it.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it live. I saw the highlights. It looked like Prograis his feet were in mud. He looked like a fish out of water. He didn't know what he was doing. He had no plan.
Yeah, Haney just has that good of footwork. When a guy like that, who's a plotter, who hasn't been boxing for a long time, he's an older fighter, but Devin Haney, he's getting into his prime. He's not in his prime yet. A lot of these young guys aren't in their prime. Tank, I believe, is in his prime. But still, if he's going to fight Devin Haney, he's going to be the one moving up. He's losing even more of an advantage with the height and now the power, because most times that kind of power doesn't continue to travel. It'll go up a weight class, but doesn't go up 2 weight classes. And Devin Haney now feeling strong and not killing himself to make weight may make it a lot more interesting with his boxing skills, which are unquestionable. So now,
I just don't think Haney, Mr. Haney, Bill Haney will be conceding too much in negotiations. And, Element and those guys, Element or Ellaby.
So the alphabet here.
I combine Heyman and Ellaby. They say Tank's the face of boxing, so they're not going to give up shit.
But you know what?
I just don't think they'll be able to work out a deal.
But we've seen Devin Haney in the past take the lesser money or take the B side just to make things happen.
And that was for old Lomachenko. Then for
but you know what though?
Tank.
But in his own rrhetoric, you heard him say, if you listen to him, he said, you know what, people know that Tank is he puts butts in the seat pretty much. I'll paraphrase. He puts people in the seats. People know who he is. I'm becoming that guy. By saying you're becoming that guy, you're admitting that you are not that guy yet. What Tank is, maybe he would be willing to acquiesce. Not something ridiculous like a 7-30 split, but a 60-40 wouldn't be too bad either.
Maybe. I might be wrong. Who knows? I really don't think Bill Haney wants that.
Well, we'll just speculate until that finally gets into some type of a negotiation.
You think
get some steam. Like
when Tank fought Garcia, it was pretty much set up for all the marbles, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Haney wants that. I don't think he wants that.
I think for now we can just wait and see, because that's going to be a heck of a matchup when it finally happens. All of these young guys in practically the same weight classes, and now with Devin Haney continue to grow with a lot more room for growth, possibly ending up at 147, but he has unfinished business or business period at 140. He took care of Regis Prograis, who's not an elite fighter, just a damn good fighter, easily dispatched of him. And he's going to move on from there. We'll find out who he's going to fight once he makes the decision to fight.